Hello, and thank you for listening to Your Credit Matters. I'm your host, Rondi Lambeth, bringing to you each and every day what I think they don't want you to know, why they want to keep you confused and distracted. Distracted by the Kardashians. Distracted by Lindsay Lohan. Distracted by what's going on with Demi Moore. See, the government loves those kind of stories. They love the mainstream media that they can pull the strings on. They love the communist news network, CNN, communist news network. They love Facebook. It's the NSA's favorite spy engine. Did you know that not very long ago, there was a terrorist that went and bombed a Social Security office in Arizona? Did you know that? A terrorist in Arizona blew up a Social Security Administration office. Did you see that on the news? Or no, did you instead see that Kim Kardashian is pregnant with a wife beater, with a convicted domestic violence person, a rap star? Kanye West. There you go. There's some words I have a hard time putting them together. I guess that's my redneck upbringing. No, they covered Kim's pregnancy versus the terrorist attack in a Social Security Administration building. They don't want you to know. They don't have control over anything right now. Do you know in Texas there was a shooting? A man went into a restaurant, shot his girlfriend, chased everybody over to the mall. Went on a shooting spree, except there was a person with a concealed weapons permit legally. She took out her weapon and shot him and killed him before he killed anybody else. Did you see that on the news? No. Why not? Because that would not spread their propaganda. It would not further their cause. They want you to be distracted by the Kardashians, Paris Hilton's, Lindsay Lohan's. They love those kind of TV shows. Or Duck Dynasty. Or all the other garbage. The Housewives of Orange County, the Housewives of Atlanta, whatever it is. Garbage. Because if they can keep you entertained and confused, you don't know what's going on. And if you don't know what's going on, or if you're too busy to balance your own checkbook, you don't realize how much money you're spending in interest. You don't realize how bad having bad credit impacts your life. See, most people that call us are in reaction mode because their attorney sent us to us, their mortgage broker, real estate agent, referred them to me to fix their problem so they can get their house. And a lot of people hire me to fix their one problem so they can get their house, and they continue to pay high interest. Because it's easier. It doesn't take the time. I recently had a listener of this show, in fact, complain. He complained because we fixed his credit and then sent him a bill and he didn't want to pay for it. But his reasoning, and I always am amazed by people's reasoning. It's with the mother of my children has crazy reasoning. Ex-wife. Crazy reasoning on stuff. He reminds me of her, and she's a schizophrenic, certified, been hospitalized, been institutionalized for being a schizophrenic. And this man reminds me of her, the way he writes. His reasoning for not wanting to pay was because I did not disclose how much work it was going to be. How much work it was going to be to fix his credit. And he was complaining because he would have to go to the mailbox and open the mailbox and physically have to take the envelopes out and then open the envelopes and then put them in a new envelope and have to handwrite our address and lick a stamp and put it back in the mailbox. And how much time, he actually said he had a log of how much time it took him to open the mail, take it out of the envelope, put it back in the envelope, and mail it to us. And because I did not disclose to him on how much time it was going to take, out of his busy day to check his mail once a week, 1 week out of the month, he felt that he should not have to pay. How crazy is that? Absolutely nuts. But see, there are some people out there that would rather pay the man, Bank of America, Citibank, HSBC, Capital One. Do you know what the interest rate is on my Capital One card? It would scare you if I told you. I'm going to tell you, it's I believe it's 17.99 with a default rate of like 39.99. Something crazy, astronomical amount if I ever was 30 days late. But how much did I pay last year? $0. How much did I pay in annual fees? $59. $59 in annual fees, and I received, I don't know, $9,000 in freebies. Well worth $59. Which brings me to my next point. I promised I would share with you how you can make money off of debt. The majority of the wealthy people, the majority of real wealth, not Paris Hilton, not the Kardashians, people that didn't inherit it, people that worked from it, that started with nothing and have everything now, they made their money by going into debt. How can you do that? Well, I'll give you one example. I have a friend of mine that borrows money from me every 3 months. Every 3 months. Good friend of mine. Owns his own credit repair company. Got to be honest with you, he's much more talented than I am with his website and his blogging and his Facebook. Doesn't know anything about getting items. Well, I shouldn't say that. He's not as good as getting items deleted, but he's very good with looks. But he's always broke. And he knows that I know how to teach him how to build business credit. And he knows I could get him $150,000 in the next 6 months of unsecured 0% credit cards, 6 months or less, $150,000 in his pocket, but he doesn't want to pay me to do it. So instead, every 90 days or so, he calls me and says, or a lot of times he texts me now, Rondi, can I borrow the $5,000, same deal as before? I respond back and say, sure, when are you going to pay me back? He always pays me back within 90 days. Pays me back, and then he borrows again. And I charge him a lot. Why do I charge my friend? Because if I didn't charge him, it would not be fair to my family, would not be fair to me, because that's taking money out of my investments. So I charge him what I'd normally make. Now, a lot of times what I'll do is I will go to Office Depot where I have an Office Depot card, and I get 90 days, 0 interest on all my purchases. I will go in and I will buy a $5,000 gift card. Now, I can't just buy one $5,000. I got to buy 10 $500 American Express or Visa or gift cards. So I'm sharing a goodie here with you. Go into Office Depot and I buy at 0 interest for the first 90 to 120 days, depending on their special they're running, $5,000 in gift cards, and then I send it to my friend. And then 90 days later, my friend sends me a check for much more than $5,000. And I take that money and I pay off the loan. Even if I had to pay interest, I charge my friend more than I have to pay Office Depot. And so now I'm making interest on a loan. That's how you can make money off of borrowing. That's one of the ways. There's many other ways. When I bought my Corvette, I got 0% financing. Why in the world would I ever pay that loan off early? You know, this morning I was listening to Dave Ramsey, seeing if maybe I could learn a little bit. He was talking about how great it is to be debt-free. Yes, it is great. But you know what's better than being debt-free? Being in debt at 0% interest, leaving your money in investments that pay you 10 to 20% interest and you're making 20% interest off a loan that you essentially got from Wells Fargo at 0%. That's better than being debt-free. Now, I did talk to a listener. It's been a couple months ago, and I was telling her how to do this. She said, that's a lot of work. That sounds really hard. I said, yep, it is. It does take a lot of time. Just like opening the mail once a week, once a month. It takes a lot of time. What, 3 to 5 minutes a month? It's not that hard. Once you get the train rolling down the track, once you get your 747 at 30,000 feet, it cruises right along with little energy. And she said to me, she goes, but it's too hard in the beginning. I said, what do you do? She goes, I stay at home, take care of the kids. Take a little time for yourself. Get your finances in order. Make some money. Now, if you want to know how to make 10 to 20% interest, little to no risk, give me a call. 888-900-3678. That's 888-900-3678. Or simply send me an email through the website, rondilambeth.com. Again, it's rondilambeth.com. Have yourself an awesome day.